Welcome back to the Talos Principle. I'm Dear Darling, and who are we? What's our purpose? Why don't we answer these questions together? Where I don't remember what we're doing exactly, but we've started in this island, so I'm assuming this is me telling my previous self, hey, you know, this is what you're meant to be doing, whatever's on this island. Oh, you know what? We must be in World 2's wooden place, where we got all of these little puzzly things to be solving. Puzzly boos. Tomly, I don't know. Some Imlite garden for you there. Okay, yeah, so let's get to it, shall we? We shall put things down. That hopefully would be the correct way to put things down, and I can tell you right now, this is not the correct way to put things down. That's also not going to work. So after a roaring start already, as we often are, as is often the case, we just need to sort of get our footing, and then once our footing has taken hold, we can find out exactly how to fly. Is that meant to be like philosophical? I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I suppose we can just sort of continue down this path and we should be okay. Seeing as that's a laser emitter, there's not really much we have to do with that. The calming sounds of water, very relaxing, I must say. This entire area, very much like the Eden project. Oh my word, this one's huge. Okay, hold on. Do we have? We have almost exactly mirrored pieces. So this makes me think about if we put this piece here and we can figure out exactly how to fill up this half with oh, hold on a minute. No, these pieces aren't quite. Oh, wait, what? These pieces are not quite mirrored because we got an extra one of these, which is probably meaning we have to do. Oh wait, these aren't going to be mirrored in the first place. Oh, okay. You know what? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it such that we have exactly the same amount of pieces, so we can just sort of split this thing half and half, and we can just recreate the same thing on both sides. But that's not going to quite work. So we might just have to sort of brute force. Not brute force. You know what I mean when I say brute force. I mean sort of like we're gonna actually have to try random things and hope it works out. And if it doesn't work out, then we're kind of stuck, I suppose. But you know, it's going okay so far. We seem to be all right. Let's think about this. Just trying to think where this should go. This should go here. And unfortunately, this shape is not going to work for what we've got left. But it, honestly, almost very close. Alas, almost only counts in horseshoes, as that old saying goes. And we have to figure out the rest of this ourselves to actually see how everything probably should slot together. I kind of like the shape we got going on in here, to be perfectly honest. So maybe we should continue with this line of thinking and then just figure out where these squares should go, which would end up being much more useful in a certain aspect. No, it can't be like that here. It basically has to be like this, doesn't it? This is obviously not correct. Anything which leaves a square left over is not going to be correct. No, hold on. Reset. There must be a much more systematic way to do this, because you would have thought things aren't quite going to be mirrorable per se, but things are going to be close to mirrorable, aren't they? Like we can do something like this, then perhaps we can chuck a little, I don't know, this in here, follow up with a little bit of that, and I don't know, this, and then we've got another square left, which is not exactly optimal. In fact, it's so suboptimal that I think it makes this entirely impossible. So perhaps the square shouldn't be here. Perhaps we should be doing this instead. I don't know. But again, we've got. I always leave these T-shapes to last because I always think they're going to be the most useful. But it turns out they're not nearly as useful as I think they are. So we can't just move this here because that raises the same problems. We got to get rid of these T-shapes in a much smarter way than we are currently doing so. And just moving things about like this is not going to be particularly helpful, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, again, not useful, but perhaps we can make it useful. Now, that's much closer, granted, but it's not quite what we require, because we only have one of these pieces which fits that way around. So, what if we found a way to do it differently? Hold on. Now you might say, what does that mean? Do it differently. I don't have an answer for you exactly, but perhaps I can get one for you once I figure out exactly what I'm doing, which is not promising, might I add, right now. this is not a great situation. Have it sound like this. Perhaps we could slide this over here. Perhaps move this out of the way. Put the square here. Why not? I don't know. Again, we've left ourselves with the T-blocks, which is, I'm not sure if that's a wise decision or not. It certainly feels like it's quite close, though. This sort of solution. Not exactly this solution, obviously. If we can just figure out a different way to arrange these items, then perhaps we could be onto something. Or perhaps not, I don't know. Oh, that's really close. It's not quite right, though. If this was facing the other way around, it would be correct. But alas, it's not. We've already run into that problem. Okay. What sort of systematic ways can we work through this? Perhaps if we remove this, move this down here, we can get in some fancy things like this. Don't know. No, honestly, that these don't really feel like I'm solving a problem. These sort of more feel like I'm sort of trial and I'm not going to say trial and error. I'm not going to give myself that much discredit. It's more like trial and improvement. You know, you get the start of an idea, then you continue building upon it, and then you keep trying to like rebuild it, and hopefully it works out. And sometimes it doesn't. So I can sort of see we're probably going to have a connector in this one and a connector in the far dome over there, which we'll get by passing through that middle section to get that tape recording. Okay, what do we have going on here? We have two of these, which we don't know how to immediately do it like this. I'm not sure if that's even the right idea, but it's what I've done. We don't have any more of those, so we can't quite put things in like this. We have to be perhaps a bit more cautious about things we so readily throw out here. Or never mind, or we could just do it in one fell swoop. You know, I guess that works too. And as expected, we do have a connector in here. And my assumption is we're going to get another connector over there. And I think we just connect them up. I can't remember which way around the red and blue receptacles were over here. They're quite straightforward, they're just like this. So let's go get the blue one. Nice to know the puzzles are much easier over here. They're much more of a relax, a respite station, if you will. I assume there's meant to be a lot of lore building, but I haven't seen many QR codes.
Nearly everything on this planet,
Hello, Alexandra again.
from the surface of the Earth to the composition of the atmosphere itself, has been shaped by life. It's a process that takes millions of years. But we humans, with our technology, with our understanding and manipulation of systems, have changed everything in just a few centuries. I think that's also part of what makes us human. We reshape the world.
That's quite grandiose.
It's how we create ourselves and how we destroy ourselves.
Quite a foreboding thing there. I assume that's meant to sort of hint at how humanity ended up being wiped out in the first place. In this, well, not in this universe, but in this game universe, per se. Has it ever actually been said exactly how the sort of apocalypse came about over here? I'm not sure if it's directly been said, it's just only been sort of hinted at. But I assume we got like another sort of crypt here, or tomb. And honestly, I don't know what the difference is between a crypt and a tomb. I assume there's some sort of actual definitions, but a tomb, a catacomb. Nothing over here. Interestingly enough, we don't have another like hint station. Isn't that? Oh no, we do have another hint station. Because we had to wake this person up and they walk into the hint station, which we no longer need. But still, we've got a load of weeping angels. Well, they're not weeping; they're just normal angels, I suppose. So, but this game doesn't seem to really be one of a horror variety. Okay, this is a bit interesting. So I'm certainly not expecting these little angels to come to life. And if they do, that's, you know, I guess it got me. The game would have definitely got me. I'd be like, whoa, did not see that coming. Excuse me. Oh, that's not a piece. I was like, why can I not pick up this piece? It doesn't exist. That's a good reason why I couldn't pick it up, to be honest. Can't fault you there. Can't be like, oh, you know, I'm so mad at that. Okay. There's a bit of an awkward last piece to be left with. So I'm just trying to figure out where it should go. And I've no one but myself to blame for making it so awkward, but there we go. I don't know how we did it, but we somehow sort of one-shot this again. So we've got another hint system to add to ourselves. Let's see who it is. Is it someone we recognise? Is it us? It's this person. It's quite a short person. Hello. Good morning to you. Did the last one have red eyes as well? Actually, you're not that short. Barakiel. What was the last one called? Uriel, maybe? Was it also named an angel? Are you even an angel? You just gonna chill in there? QR code. Hello. Welcome, child. I'm one of... Just seeing if you went anywhere. Welcome, child. I'm one of those elected to remain in the world as a messenger of the hidden words. If you're ever in need, seek us out and cry for help. We will do what we can. Thank you, Barakiel. I'm more than capable right now of tackling these things by myself, but... I don't know why I slowed down so much, but I'll read these tombstones. Uriel. 4. I shall protect the garden of worlds in eternity. Barakiel. That's the person we just met. My counsel will guide the children to Elohim to glory. So I guess Salafiel will be the next one we meet. Without words Elohim in our hearts, we are nothing. Azrael. I shall remember the names of dead in eternity. I'm trying to remember my biblical knowledge, which by the way is not very good, so... is Azrael like a demon or something? Devil? This is my Binding of Isaac knowledge, I suppose, rather than anything. Serial Woe. I shall bring knowledge and healing to the children of Elohim, dude. Hold on. Are these exactly the same? Zadkiel. Only through oh yeah, these are exactly the same. I shall carry the message of Elohim to all words in the garden. We've got exactly the same sort of tombstones here. So I assume we meet Salafiel in the third world, and then maybe we meet Azrael in the tower, and then who knows where Suriel is. Suriel Woe is a fantastic name, though. But we are done with this area, and we are going to probably go back to hunting stars in the previous worlds. No, well, not previous worlds, in the Egyptian world. Is that world we're in? What's it called? World B? I don't really know what these subdivisions are called. Like worlds, levels, hubs. I don't know. There wasn't much more to that sentence. There's an that trailer thought right there. As we go to World 1, I guess? Why am I suddenly running so fast again? I felt like I was really slowed down for some reason. Just beforehand. Did we get the star in World 1? That is the question I have for you. It appears we did. So we can move straight on to World 2. Which we did not get the world for. Did not get the star for. As per usual, we'll take about 5 minutes or so wandering around trying to find this. Oh, we saw the star in this world, didn't we? At least I remember we made a beacon in this level. I have a strong feeling. Yeah, we made a beacon in this level, and I was just like, I don't know what we're gonna do with this, but it's a thing. I don't remember how we made the beacon. Oh, we had another cube, that's why. This was like an introductory level, wasn't it? That's why it was, we made a red beacon here. I don't know if we still need a red beacon, but we might as well, while we're in here, make it. And then perhaps we can utilize it in a different, capacity, one might say. Oh, is this one of the ones where it was in the hub world? That was the star? I don't know. I do remember this world, ever so slightly. And I remember that level over there is the one which you get, like, flung over the wall via a fan or something. So keep our eye out along the hub world. Hub worlds are these sort of things. You would have thought the star would be in this place over here. Oh, this was a maze one, wasn't it? I don't think it's in there, because that doesn't have... We'll check that one last. That one doesn't have access to anything outside its doors. This one, if I remember, like you launch yourself over with a fan, and then like this fan thing was meant to be a bit misleading, where you're meant to use the fan cover itself to launch yourself across. And you can hold a cube, but I don't remember why you need to hold a cube. There's no connector in this level though, so it can't be this level. You did this. Perhaps there's a hidden switch around here, which we need to pay attention to. Another one that I can particularly see, but might as well have a little cursory glance around this place to see if there is something. I don't think it's going to be in this level though. I think it's going to be in that level. I think that level is the one with the jammers, right? And it was a huge maze which you had to walk through. And I remember it took basically forever to get through the entire thing, right? Higher ground. Yeah, but this one only has jammers. So if a star is in here, it can't, well, okay, it can't be in here. Also, I'm not doing this level again because it's an absolute pain to complete. But, oh, yeah, okay, I do vaguely remember now being like, hey, I'm surprised there's no other levels with connectors in, because we can make such an obvious beacon in that world. Actually, wasn't there connectors in that maze level? You know, the one we skipped out. But yeah, you had to use like lasers to connect your way through the entire level or something. These levels were much more recently done, so I suppose I can remember them far more easily than I could with previous different worlds. So our question is, where is the star in this world? Okay, so we think it's highly unlikely it's going to be in either of these two levels. We'll check out that level over yonder hill, but it's also possible that it's a hub world level. Do we read this QR code? I've come to see that these mysteries are not all for his children to solve. Only the designer himself could truly ever understand the infinite complexity of his creation. I will gaze at his work and worship. We should also perhaps keep more of an eye out for potential paint buckets as well. I don't know if there's any significance of painting QR codes, or it's just something just for funsies. But I mean, look, this is such like a monumental thing. This looks like, right? It looks like an Egyptian Mount Rushmore of sorts. So you would have thought it'd be something to do with this level. But whether the star actually is in here or not, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, but we do have connectors. I'm just trying to see, could we even see the beacon from the other? No, but why would we need the beacon? This level has both red and blue lasers in, doesn't it? Or does this only have a blue one? No, it's got a red one. Okay, we'll have a cursory glance through this entire level to see if we can find like a potential location for a star to be. It certainly feels like there could be a star hidden around in here somewhere, doesn't it? There could be like a hidden lever. There could be like an interesting sort of like a path we could take, which would be a bit eye-opening for us for where a star could be. Perhaps a fake wall? I don't know. It does not look particularly promising, this world, so we might end up having to have a cursory glance at the hint guide to really see. Oh yeah, I forgot this level had a very weird thing going on with... How are you meant to do it again? You were meant to use like Pajama or something. Or could you do everything from this perspective? I don't know, but honestly, I'm not particularly convinced about a star location being inside here. I think it must be in the hub world. Either that, or there's a hidden lever in one of the previous levels, which we just sort of like ignored very quickly. I'm not particularly convinced it's in this level. I'm going to be honest. Not that it seems unfeasible for me. Unfeasible for it to be in this level. In this particular level, but I just don't see it, because I'm just trying to think what would it even be. There's not many hidden areas in that level in the first place. Perhaps it's something to do with this monument in the first place. Is there like a location in this hub world which we haven't gone to? Like a corner over there? Perhaps there's some sort of puzzly thing. Maybe we can interact with these things, like the clock level. Perhaps there's some sort of significant hub world puzzle which we did not quite pay enough attention to. Because this hub world's actually kind of small if you look at it. There's another paint bucket. I guess we'll paint message. There's more to this place. I've travelled this land extensively, I say without hesitation, but this is the most beautiful spot, you know? Lay down some positivity. I don't know if there's any particular significance to the messages we lay down, but alas, we are going to instead, and unless there's something over here, maybe we can go outbounds of the fence somehow. We will turn to the guide by Evil the Seal and see what the first hint is for. What are we in? What World B level 2, right? Where is it? Hidden away outside in one of the puzzles. Check out the tomb. Okay, never mind, it wasn't the tomb. Turns out I was a little bit too quick to dismiss it. I don't know where it'd be. In the tomb. There's not many places in the tomb for it to be. Hidden away out of sight. So my hunch is there's a hidden lever somewhere, or perhaps a hidden wall. This is where we got to. It's quite easy for us to check each room, but I I can't really see what's going on. Are these QR codes of any hints? Why do we have them? I remember that. I'm sure the answers are here if we look hard enough. Can you see a hidden location? Not really. I'm gonna be honest. There's a hidden location. I'm very much not privy to it. Hidden away out of sight is what the hint is in this level. Well, actually, it was just a free hint. But of course, me reading hidden out of sight is not the most illuminating clue, so I just skipped ahead and for these other ones. I mean, there's a lot of things I suppose I can't see in this level. I'm looking upwards because often in video games, if things are hidden upwards, people tend to miss them. As I've heard, I can't really see anything of significance. So hold on. Solution. Let's see what this is. Immediately after entering the tomb, turn right and look behind the statue. You'll see a barrier blocking your way. Really? Turn right and look behind the statue. I thought I looked behind the statue. Didn't I look here? Oh. I didn't go the entire way. I looked here, and then I thought it was a dead end. Okay, so we just got to get the jam out here. That's pretty easy. But, you know what? I probably should have seen that coming. I was thinking, when we were looking through here again, I was like, why is there even a receiver on this end of a laser? And that makes sense, because you need... Because I was like, why would you need to get that door open? The jammer already lets you in. It doesn't seem like it's part of a puzzle. But it's, of course, not part of a solution for a puzzle for the sigil, but a solution to get a hidden superstar behind the statue. Okay, that one I could have found. I just had to commit a bit more to the walking. If I just walked in here, I probably would have actually found it. Interesting. Huh. Okay, so we need to get the second connector. And then that's what we use that little beacon for. Okay, so we need to actually get both connectors in here. Interestingly, because that drops off over there, we can actually get both connectors and the jammer out of this level and use it in other levels, if we so desire. If you were doing high ground and you were like, oh, I'm so sick of this level having so many different moving parts to it. Oh, hold on. We do need the jammer back over here to actually get out that connector in the first place. So we should have grabbed that connector on the way out, but we didn't. But we can do it now. We walk in here, get this connector out, get everything out, including the jammer, and then we're good. This is just like another one of the puzzles, which is just a lot of walking, to be honest. Once you got it sorted, it's, I think, quite evident to see. Once you found it, sorry, what you need to do. As I say, jammer, of course, still being the most OP Talos principle tool. It just does too much. It's too strong. Please nerf. Actually, don't nerf it. Just render all your puzzles impossible. That's good. That's great video game design right there. Love when I play a puzzle game and the puzzles are impossible. I wonder how I didn't see that. Because I even looked here, but I was like, oh, there's no switcher, so it's not what's going on. It's because this doorway's a little bit high. I thought this was like the end of a wall, and it just made sense in my mind. Although now I look at it, of course, that's not exactly where the shadows should draw a hard line, is it? It's very much hinting towards a doorway there. So okay, note to self, perhaps commit a little bit more with some of your guesses of perhaps where a star piece could be. It's not called a star piece, but you know what I mean. Yeah, we only need 2. For a second there, I thought we might have needed 3. I got a little bit worried. But no, this is a rather straightforward one. And then we'll be moving on to World 3, where we don't have a lot of time, but perhaps we can sort of spend 5 minutes of it just sort of wandering around, trying to look through previous levels, and perhaps we might be able to find the star again. Or at least the location of a star. highly doubt we're going to be able to find exactly where the star is. But yeah, you could just take one of these connectors and just like put it down over here if you really wanted to. Yeah, I guess you can't take a jammer out now I think about it, but you can take a connector out. So I didn't quite, but the reason I wrote off the tomb so quickly is because oh, we got the star from this level, perfect. The reason I wrote it off so quickly was because there was a red beacon you make. Oh, there's two of them here. Because there was a red beacon you can make in that world. I very quickly. Oh, there's a paint bucket. This is the first time we found a paint bucket, right? It was a very obvious beacon. In my mind, it seemed very clear that you would have to use the beacon to get the star, and I was like, the tomb doesn't have anything outward facing, so it makes it quite difficult. Just seeing if there's anything around here. This doesn't look like, to me, there's anything in this level in particular. I guess of significance, we could have a blue laser potentially shining out of a doorway. I don't know if that'll be useful, but perhaps only be useful to about one level. I have a hunch there might be a star on the hub world for this one and one in a different level. I feel like we might have seen the star on this level, didn't we? Didn't we find it in this world? Maybe we didn't. Is that where? That must have been where the Tetronimo was. And this is how you let yourself in. Okay, no, I'm not particularly convinced it's in this level either. You've got to be cautious of these walls, but we're always jumping like this. Not just to look like a crazy lunatic, but sometimes you can see the tops of ladders if you jump high enough over these walls, so we can sort of be like, oh, you know, there's a hidden section over there, that must be where the star is. So of course, pay attention to all the scenery as we walk around to make sure we're not missing anything in particular. Double play. Oh yeah, this entire world is an introduction to, is there a ladder here? Can't see a ladder over there. Introduction to the recording device, right? So a lot of these levels are going to be quite simple. So perhaps that does that mean it's more likely that the star will be around here because you got a simple level, a simplistic basic level, but when you're going for the stars, you know you can add a sort of like extra layer of spice and difficulty to it. Now I feel like there's something to do with that Sphinx that you could interact with, if I recall. Which may make sense for there to be a star hidden in that level. You know what? I bet there's stars hidden in between these areas. Okay, but wait, do we have cubes in this? Do we have cubes in this level? We do have cubes. So perhaps it's possible maybe we can get into there. Okay, well firstly I suppose let's actually grab the cube. Hold on, just seeing if there's anything else over here. We of course get rid of his fan. Well, in fact, we can use a fan now to get the cube, can't we? We have a ladder in here. That's if you trap yourself, that makes sense. I don't see a star in there, to be perfectly honest. I don't even see a ladder in there. So it does sort of suggest to me we are not meant to go inside there. If there was a star in there, there would probably be a ladder to get yourself out again, should you get stuck. Okay. So surprisingly, I don't think it could be in that world. I'm still suspicious of that world, but I can't see a location for where it would be. This world has a lot more levels than I remember. I'll be perfectly honest. So is it really going to be in these two levels? I'm sure there's something to do with that Sphinx. Isn't it too convenient for it just to be like a giant monument? Box. I don't even remember this level. Oh, never mind. I do remember this level. I don't even know where a star would be in this level. Oh, but wasn't this a level where it was displayed using the wrong world's textures or whatever? And Elohim was like, "Hey, this isn't right. Let me change up." Is this a false wall? We do have cubes. But the problem is, we only have one cube. So unless we have two hidden cubes somewhere in this world, it does not seem like it's going to be up in this It's another one particular. But this is another one we'll put an asterisk by. Asterisk. Because it's possible, I think, that this is a false wall. But even still, if this was a false wall, how do we even get into it? There's no way we need more than 3 cubes to even get up this high. Methinks. And I can't see a ladder poking out over the top. So let's have a quick wander around over here. There is a paint bucket over here, if I recall. Somewhere. It was like hiding behind one of these things. But it must be something to do with this. Okay, I shouldn't say it must be. I have a strong suspicion the Sphinx plays a central part of either a location for a star or something along those lines. I'm always suspicious of these like doorways which are laid about, which are the same doorways that you use to get into places, right? But they don't actually lead anywhere. We have cubes in this one as well. Right angle. Ah, yes, we found one of the stars. It was over here, right? But we needed 3 cubes. But there are only 2 cubes in this level, if I remember. There's a hidden one at the end here, and there's one at the beginning somewhere. Right, because there's one like over here, which prevents you going backwards. But we need 3 multiple cubes. And we couldn't quite figure that one out. If I recall, there's a star in here. And a way to get out. Okay, so that's a question. How do we get another cube in here? Or is there another cube to even find? But I think we'll start exploring that more in the next episode, because it's been half an hour. We'll take a little stab at it and see what we can figure out. But for now, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been the Talos Principle. I've been Darding. Likes, comments, subscription, shares are greatly appreciated. Join me Darding Discord, follow me on Twitter down below. Hope we can see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.